Welcome my friends, in this video I built a base out of wood. Gluing small pieces of wood together, place self-printed tie-downs, make a stencil using a bowl and paint white lines. I start by mitering wooden boards for the base with my miter saw. Of course you can also buy a ready-made base, but this time I want to do everything myself. The pieces of wood are then glued together and fixed with angle clamps. When everything was dry, I glue a hard foam board into the base itself. You can easily cut these with a cutter knife, but it's important that everything stays square, so I mark everything with a tri-square. I use steering sticks as a base covering. Japanese aircraft carriers had a wooden deck during Second World War, and this is a good way to represent it. I simply use an old side cutter to cut. Unfortunately, it's very time consuming to cut all these things to length. Now it's time to glue all the planks onto the base with PVA glue. Gluing the planks also had something meditative for me, and it was very satisfying to see the surface grow. Every few rows I use a board and screw clamps to let the whole thing dry under pressure so I could achieve a strong connection. It's also important to wipe off the excess glue straight away, because then you have less sanding to do afterwards. I then let everything dry for 24 hours so that the glue was completely hardened and the remaining moisture from the wood dried out. For the next step, a carpenter friend gave me a tip how a real parquet floor are treated. I mixed sanding dust with PVA glue and then I used it to fill the surface. Here again, let everything dry for 24 hours and then sand until the surface is smooth. If there's still unevenness, repeat the step with the filler. Now color comes into play. Here I take an ochre oil paint and treat the entire deck with it. I dilute the oil paint with white spirit to the desired consistency. Another carpenter's trick: instead of a brush, I use a cloth to apply the paint. I then did the whole thing 2 to 3 times until I achieved the desired color. Now I have to drill the holes of the tie downs, and here I use a 3mm drill. Then place the tie downs in the holes with tweezers and glue them together with super glue. I cut out a round template using a bowl. Japanese aircraft carriers had partially painted a red circle on the deck, and I would like to do that too. But first of all, I paint with white paint. On the one hand for the white edge, and on the other hand, white is a perfect background for red. I used flexible masking tape here and covered the circle. The entire circle will then be painted in red. Here too it takes 2 or 3 passes until the color covers. Now it's time for the magical moment where the stencils are removed. And I have to say, I'm very happy with the result. But the runway markings are still missing, which I mask off again and paint in white. Now I use a circle cutter to create small stencils so I can also paint the tie downs. Of course you can also do this with a brush, but I prefer to use my airbrush. Once everything is taped off, I paint the tie downs in gunmetal color. Of course, the base itself also has to be painted, and here I always use classic black. This isn't a model making or artist paint either, it's a cheap one from the supermarket. But that means I have to paint 3 or 4 times. When the black paint has covered well, a layer of glossy clear varnish is applied. Of course, the base also needs a label with the title of the model, which I created in GIMP and printed out. Finally, a layer of glossy varnish is added to cover the label too. And that's it, the base is finished. I added 2 figures from the 3D printer to make the scene look more dynamic. If you want to see how I built the plane, just click on the info card. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. And of course also a comment, so that the YouTube algorithm ranks the video high. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye!